Okay, this thing is hurting. I thought this would be a good idea for the video, but it really isn't. Today, yes, we are going to be, how do I even start with this? So I found this dude on YouTube the other day and I was pretty not shocked actually. With the way he says things and just his overall views, I'm not very surprised he's doing a video like this. But then again, it is within his rights. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And so that's why we have a response video. Yay. And this man is the amazing Lucas. Now, before we start and make those preconceived notions that we just fucking love, I'm transgender and also I'm conservative. I'm a registered Republican. So I have a lot of conservative beliefs. And so, London, that's contradictory. Hi there, I'm future London, coming to you all the way from the darkest depths of hell itself. Shut the fuck up. I'm getting off on a tangent. And I'm not one to just go out and call people transphobic. I'm really not. I'm not gonna be the tranny that screams transphobic. So you can believe the fact that I'm calling this person right here transphobic. That means he must be a real big shithead.
So guys, I covered this story a while back. I covered it, the first time that they won. And for those of you interested, surprise, spoiler alert, they're still winning.
Winning. Overall with this, I believe you should be on hormones for a certain amount of time until you can get to the level of that of a biological female, biological male. When that happens, it has been scientifically proven that your muscle density will either diminish or raise depending on what side you are on. Depending if you're male to female, female to male, that will give a very, 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 very fair chance. Black women biologically have a greater bone density than white women, but we shouldn't discriminate and not let them participate because they have a higher bone density than white women. Why is it any different for transgender people?
If you train your butt off, the best you can hope to get is third place. Now, stories like this have been rampant, whether it's been, MMA, wrestling, or track and field. And one thing that kills me is that it's these two kids and they're black kids, right? And the reason why I'm so upset that it's two black boys, because we need as many of them as we can get. We need as many black men as we can get our hands on. Because you have to understand, the odds aren't in our favor, all right? They're just not. We're 13% of the population. Give us a second with your LGBTQRSTUV stuff. Just give us a second. Let us huddle up, regroup, and get our stuff together before you start knocking us off. Before you start turn our men into women. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, Lucas, I understand that your priority is to get your hands on black men. Not discriminating, of course. Your taste is your own. But how fragile must your fucking masculinity be if you are offended by this guy wearing a dress, this guy wearing this guy wearing this guy wearing, like, who the hell gives a fuck? And later he says, I don't give a fuck about what you do or anything like this, but obviously you have a fucking problem. Since he gave the example of Mac, from what I know and from what actually Mac has told me, girls beat him. Like, girls have beat this transgender guy before.
Or like you were in one of my Instagram comments and you said some of the girls like even beat you or something like that.
Yeah, my freshman and sophomore year, I got beat by Charlotte Fowler. My freshman year, Maria Villadels. She goes to Emmanuel now in Georgia. I had a 24-16 record my freshman year, and then a 20-11 record my sophomore year.
Like at that freshman year, were you on testosterone, or like when did you start? I guess.
Yeah, I started in my freshman year.
Wow, okay.
So I was on T still getting beat by females.
So he stays in the girls, they get mad. He wants to go over to the boys to make them more even and fair, they get mad. What do you want? Like, you obviously don't know what you want. And a trans man that's on testosterone goes onto the girl side because he's just playing by the rules, by his biological sex, and doing his own thing. Everyone yells at him. But it's simple to fix this problem. Let him be on the boys' team. He might not dominate as much. It's just like you're making this problem for yourself. You're making this a bigger issue than it has to be.
So for the longest, I've been looking to see what the parents of these two biological boys look like? That's what I'm like, they must have been adopted, must have been weird family, something. Let me see what they look like. I finally find some video footage of these two parents, and I'm done. I'm done. It's no longer funny to me now.
Did it take every brain cell in your fucking body, with a count of 2, to make that joke? Must have taken a lot. You must feel really, really proud about that, huh?
I would call CPS with the quickness. Under the age of 18, then no, your child gets removed from you. That's end of story. Because I'm sick and tired of this nonsense. You want to know how you handle as a parent if your child comes up to you and says some craziness? For example, say when I have my son comes to me and like,
Daddy, I feel like a helicopter.
you want to know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say simply this. Well, son, you're not, so go back upstairs and do your homework.
Whoa, congrats, Lucas. You passed the 2016 school of overused jokes that aren't relevant anymore. The helicopter joke, like, how long? Look, I don't know. I don't know. And you want to talk about bad parenting? When you don't want to understand your own kid? No, I don't get it. Go, I don't understand you. I came to my fucking parents wanting to be a superhero that was called Balls Boy, where I'd shoot balls out of a cannon. The irony in every bit of that name. And they still listen to me. So like, maybe the reason he's pissed off is because no parent actually listened to him. Explains a lot. Transgenderism is scientifically, medically, and neurologically proved. Okay, let's just get that straight. In all means of the definition of science, transgenderism is proven. Oh, if my son came up to me and was like, I identify as a piece of celery, I'd be like, get out. Like, no, fuck you. But you sound really dumb because that's not what transgenderism is. Transgenderism isn't just coming up to their parent and being like, I feel like being a girl today. Like, it's more than just that. Gender dysphoria is more than just coming out. It's scientifically proven. It's a whole bodily phenomenon that obviously you don't understand. And Lucas, it's okay if you don't understand. Just say it. Just say you don't understand, and that will be perfectly fine. But transgenderism and being a transgender person is more than just sitting there and being like, you know, I feel like coming out as a girl today.
Nothing. I'm not asking them about, well, why do you feel that way? Why do you think you're a helicopter? Why are you this? No. You don't know anything, boy. You are 5 years old. You are 10 years old. Hell, you are 16 years old. Don't tell me what you feel like. Don't tell me what you are. I know you think you're this. I know you think you like her because you some type of way. I know you think you like it, you know, so-and-so, the teacher, because they gave you an A and they you know, smiling at you. And I know, I get it. I understand. You don't know anything. I'm your daddy. I've been there. So I'm gonna guide you on the right path. Nowadays, that would be considered transphobic.
Oh my God, you mean you have trans children who say they're transgender and you don't believe them? Oh my God, let me call the police.
And you get in trouble as a parent.
I think he was projecting something there. That was oddly specific. Listen, I'll be your daddy and you can be my bitch. And as your daddy, I will point you towards multiple sources of transgenderism that are legitimate, that prove that transgenderism is a real phenomenon. Now, we're not gonna get into the irrelevant tangent of a whole, like, what did you say, teacher? Something about teachers, something about sexuality, something about like liking a girl or some shit like that. Like, boo, we get it. You don't know what you're talking about, but you don't need to make that obvious, you see. You don't need to make that so obvious. I would go easy on you, but you're kind of a dick, so I don't feel the need to. You're a dick that feels like you know everything about transgenders, and when you saw a good old Alex Jones video and were like, I'm an expert on this shit. But that's none of my business. Class dismissed. You're my bitch.
Because that's what they're teaching the kids nowadays. Oh, what is it, in the UK? I don't care what you do. Do you. You like what you like? Whatever. Knock yourself out. Just don't try and force me to approve of whatever you do. And now, it's now in the UK where they're teaching kids about transgenderism and all this. And if you opt out of the class, it is illegal.
Now, the UK is a mess, and I most certainly agree that we should not be teaching little kids about transgenderism, nor should we be teaching them about sex ed. Like, based on this article, it says 5-year-olds. They should not be knowing things about transgenderism, or much about sexuality at all, except for, you know, mommy and daddy are your parents. So that's very, very fair to say, and I most certainly agree, and I think the UK is an absolute mess. I do think later on, though, in late middle school / high school, you should definitely know and learn about sex ed and all the interest in all the intricacies of sex ed. And that includes all sexualities and learning about transgenderism.
That's what people don't get. What does it matter to you? What it matters to you and everyone else is that laws get put in place. You don't get it. You don't get it. You're so short-sighted that you can't see what's going out in front of you.
Now, I do agree that... I agree, let's not make dumb laws. I swear, some fucking laws in these blue states are whack as shit. But I just wish we could differentiate that that's not all of what transgenderism is. In fact, a lot of this doesn't even appeal to like transsexual, transgender people. They appeal to the non-binary people. And transgender is not non-binary. As seen in this text right here, being gender non-conforming is different than being transgender or transsexual. As a transgender myself, I don't want every bathroom to be genderless. A lot of other transgender people don't want that either. A whole bunch of other LGBT people don't want little children taking sex ed and all that shit. And teaching them surface level shit, fine. Go for it. When I came out as trans and we had to tell my younger nephews, you know, what's happening to me, we gave them a surface level thing, not like, we didn't give them specifics, we gave them an overview of it. So in those cases, sure, give kids an overview if it's gonna happen in their personal life or they're gonna see this. Because the world has trans people, the world has gay people, the world has bi people, the world has, you know, whatever. And that's just the reality of the situation. Not every trans person wants dumb laws like that, okay? Well, let's just get that straight. Rant over.
We could literally say the same thing about you. You're so short-sighted that you don't bother to see what's outside the window, i.e. what transgenderism actually is. You did not do any research on this. And that's fine if you really like getting your ass beat by a 5'6", 125-pound tranny on the internet. Cool. You did your job good. But how could you be this hypocritical? As a conservative myself, it's important to realize and value other opinions and look at the other opinions and the other side as far and as well as I can. And I feel like that's what we should do. Conservative, liberal, independent, whatever, we should all be just doing that in general. This is not what conservative is. This is a dysfunctional, dipshittery branch of the conservative movement that sadly still exists and isn't placed back into the 2016 closet where it should be. Sadly, this is still a thing in the conservative movement, and it's really sad.
You don't get it. What we're doing essentially now is that we're playing God. That's what we're doing now. Putting uteruses in men and telling children that, you know what, you can be anything you want, including a helicopter. That's what we're doing. We're playing God.
See, this is my problem with this argument of playing God. When you save somebody's life, you're technically playing God. Should you not save that person's life? Vaccinating your kids from getting potential diseases in the future, that's playing God. But is that a bad thing? No! Vaccinating your kids is a good thing. Saving someone from dying is a good thing. Anyway, thank y'all's balls so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you do. And I'll see y'all's balls in the next video. London, out.